All right, hello and welcome everybody. Welcome to our Thursday Lunch and Learn. I hope you're all having an amazing day, an amazing week so far. If you're here with me live, let me know, pop a comment in for me and yeah, let me know that you're here, you can see me, you can hear me okay. I'm just bringing it up on my phone again. Just so I can double check that we are all good in here. All right, say hi if you're here watching with me. Today's Lunch and Learn is all about delegation, and we're going to get into this. There's two main things that you really need to know for delegation to work effectively, to make sure it works every single time, and I'm going to share them with you today. So I hope you will get some good value out of it. Let me know. Oh, hey, Raywin, nice to see you. Thank you for commenting and for being here. For those of you who are watching the replay, please make sure you still comment and say hi as well. I do love seeing that in there. And I do come back and have a chat with you as well, which is really cool. So for those of you who are new to our group, my name is Emma Rhoades. I am the founder of Her Leadership Journey. And I've been doing this now for a couple of years. We had to redesign our business during COVID, but been in this people and culture leadership space for a few more years than that now. Thanks, Deanne. And so the reason that we started this was basically from some of my own experiences that I had in the workplace, and this deep value of mine that life is too short to just accept things as they are. So I kind of just went, this is not cool. We need to do something about it. And so I stepped back out and went back into the small business and you know, really have been working with businesses, leaders, executives, all different types, frontline managers, business owners together as well. In all kinds of facets, to really look at the culture of the workplace and what they want to create, and also to help people step into those management roles, which has been so rewarding. And specifically, Her Leadership Journey has been working with women to help them build that confidence, to empower them, and to be the change that we all want to see. So for me, my mission is to create these better workplaces, to have safe environments that people love to come to, that they go home feeling valued and fulfilled, because this is their life that they're giving in exchange for this work. So we want to make sure it's worth it. And I can't do that on my own. So I need people like you who are coming and joining me. And so these Lunch and Learn series happen every Thursday. It's a way for me to give back and to train, to teach, to give a little bit of information. They're just new ideas. So some of them you would have heard before, some of them you might be doing, some might be a reminder for you. Some of them you might not agree with, and that is completely okay. So they're all different ideas, new perspectives, different ways of looking at things. And when we do that and we get that from each other, it allows us to, I guess, to broaden our own minds, to look at things differently. And that's what we want you to be, these adaptable leaders who are confident to approach any situation and know exactly what you need to do in order to get the best out of everybody and the best for the business as well. So today's Lunch and Learn is about delegation, and there's a couple of things that I'm going to share with you. But the first thing that we really need to focus on is that delegation is not dumping of work. And in this time where we have so many people who are overworked, we're struggling for staff already, we might be taking on a bit more than we should, trying to protect them, trying to shield them, trying to look after them, because we really don't want them to leave if they get too much work. And we've had instances before, I'm sure you have as well, where you've just been, I guess, dumped work. And you're like, oh God, now I've got to do the boss's work as well. And so we carry that belief with us when we step into that leadership role, that management role. And it's a mindset shift. It's really all it is. It's about understanding that delegation is not dumping of work. If you're just dumping of work, or it has been dumped on you, that's not delegation. That is just dumping. So let's not mix those words up. And when we're looking to delegate to somebody else, this mindset piece, we need to recognize that that person is probably thinking that as well. So that really forms a whole part of the conversation, which I'll get to in a minute. So if it's not just dumping of work, then what is this delegation piece? And when it's done correctly, When it's done with the right mindset, it is all about empowering someone else, giving them the skills and giving them the, I guess, the courage and the confidence to step up into their own, I guess, out of their comfort zone and try something different. And when you delegate something, you're actually delegating not just the task, you're delegating the responsibility for the outcome. And that makes everything different, because if you just want someone to pick up and do a task for you, then that's not really delegation. It's just asking someone, oh, can you do that for me at this point? Because you might be busy, you might be out. When we're looking at delegation, we're really looking at the entire process and the responsibility for the outcome as well. We're saying, this is something that has been in my wheelhouse, I've been doing it, and I'm going to hand that over to you so you can grow and develop. You can enhance your skills, you can have more responsibility, and you can step up just by doing this one kind of task, project, whatever it might be that you actually want to delegate out. So when we have a look at it from that mindset, a lot of the fear goes away from that. So if we have this mindset, then the first thing we really need to do is to look at the right type of person, because not everybody will take well to delegation, and they've really got to want to do it, because we remember here we're talking about the responsibility of the outcome, and there are people who do not want any of that responsibility. You have people who potentially what's the word, I guess they really want to achieve, they're go-getters, they want to, get in there, climb the ladder and do more things, but they're probably not yet emotionally ready to handle responsibility as well. So you've got to think about these things when we're looking at the right type of person. And so when we're looking at who it is, you might not have anybody in your team at all. If you don't understand their motivations, what's driving them, why they're here, why they're there working for you, what they want out of their career, it's going to be really hard to try and find someone who you can delegate to. So if you feel that there's probably nobody in your team, then sit down and have a good conversation with everybody in your team and just ask where they want to go. What does their career look like? They might be somebody who wants to come in, do their job, do it well, and go home. They don't want any extra responsibility. But then you might find others who go, yeah, I'm really ready to be pushed. I want to grow and develop. I want to move up the career ladder. They're the ones that you want to start looking at, focusing on, okay, what can I delegate? And for some, they might be ready to jump straight in. Others, they might be just taking just a little step at a time, going, okay, you can't rush those types of people. So with the mindset of delegating responsibility, start looking at your team and who would be a good fit for some delegation. Because not only when it's done right, not only does it free you up for you to take a step up and do some higher level leadership work that you want to do, it allows them to step up and grow as well. So when it's done right, it's win-win for everybody. It's only the times where it's done wrong that somebody loses, and that's not what you want to have. So the delegation is really about, there's lots of thought that has to go into it before you even have the conversation. So if we're looking at for that right type of person, you need to then craft the conversation which revolves around what's in it for them. Why are you choosing them? Why do you feel that they're the right person to do this task, to take responsibility for this? And that why is going to make or break your relationship with them. Because if you see something in them where they actually believe that it is, like I just, what is it? It's like a meme or something that goes around. It's, I think we've put it up here before, that says, you do such a good job yourself that you just get more work, or other people's work gets loaded onto you as well. So you've got to think about the people that you're delegating to and how they're approaching this. What have their delegation experiences been in the past, and how is that going to impact on your delegation experience right now? So it's really important that you understand their motivations, and then that what's in it for them, that's your conversation. Why did you choose them? Why do you think they can do a good job? What is it that you see in them? And are they willing to step up and have some more of this responsibility? And so once you've figured out all of that and you've worked out who the right person is, and you've crafted that message around, okay, this is the task, this is the project, this is the outcome, whatever it might be, you've thought about what's in it for them. The next part of that conversation is getting right into the details of the actual task. And we're talking like really detailed. So things like exactly what's involved. What are all the steps? You've got to list them all out in order. You've got to list the different types of people that they might need to be in contact with. You've got to tell them all of this stuff rather than just assume that they know. You've also got to remember to clear the path. So make sure that if there are certain permissions that they need in terms of tech inside, or even if they need to go and talk with another one of your peers at that manager level, you need to tell them, hey, look, I've delegated this on to Raywin. Raywin's going to come and have a chat with you about this as well. Can you just make sure that you make some time for that, for her to come and have that conversation? But you also need the most important thing is to clearly communicate the end result. So what does it look like when this job has been finished, completed successfully, like absolutely done perfectly? What does that look like? And then you can work your way back. And what this does is it allows people to start using their own brain, their own ideas, their own perspectives. It gives them this level of autonomy that they can go, right, this is where I need to go. Now, you might go along this path, but they might actually find this path is more suitable for them. So you've got to let them have that flexibility of finding their own way, ticking off the processes that they need to along the way, making sure that obviously all the obligations and legal ramifications, I guess, are taken care of, but give them that little bit of scope to find their own way to come to the same end result. You've really got to get quite detailed with exactly the exact requirements. And we go over this inside our Management for Impact program. There's a whole module on delegation where we go more into depth with this. But we've also got a 10 steps delegation checklist. So I'm not too sure if you've downloaded that. We'll make sure that that goes into the chat as well. But if you're interested in learning more about delegation and really trying to get it right for the first time, then I highly recommend you come and join our Management for Impact program. We have just pushed back the start date because of all the dramas with school starting later and COVID and testing and all of that. We just kind of thought, you know what, it's just too much to start something now when people didn't even know if they were working from home or back in the office or what the kids were doing. So we've pushed it back to start at March. So that's more opportunity for you because I only run this program live. So it's facilitated live a couple of times a year. So this is our first round. So if that is of interest to you, we'll pop the link in the chat and you can go and have a look at that program as well. So for those of you who are here with us, talk to me about your delegation experiences. What have you found that has gone right? What's worked really well for you? And what hasn't worked so well? And especially for those of you also watching the replay, make sure that you're coming in and commenting here. This is a interactive kind of lunch and learn while I'm sharing some information with you. I'd love to keep chatting with you as much as we can during this time so we can give you as much value. So when we look at, let's just recap, because I said a lot during that time. The first one is the mindset to delegation. Remember, you're not dumping. This is a process that you need to go through if you want to grow and develop other people inside, so you can step up and they can then step into your role. And it allows you to continue learning, growing, putting out, I guess, stepping into your own leadership in terms of your organization level rather than just a team level as well. Then we spoke about finding the right person and having that conversation and making sure that you're really articulating what's in it for them. Why did you choose them? Why are they the right person for this? And this is not ego stroking. This is really just making sure that you understand, you know your people enough to know that this delegation is going to work right. Getting them to understand how you see them as well, because sometimes we see ourselves differently than other people see us. And then the third part is making sure that you're really clear in communicating the end result. And we had I use it all the time, an example of a manager who had asked one of her team members to update their database, to call and get the updated emails and postal addresses of their client database. Now, this person was given a list and was told to go and call them all and get the information and bring it back. And that was the delegation. That was pretty much the instructions. And so what happened was that this person rang, got some information and handed the sheet back. The sheet was only half done, and the manager said, what's happened with the rest? And the person said, well, I couldn't get a hold of them. So that's the ones I could get a hold of. Now, the manager needed the entire sheet completed, but that was all they were told to do, to call them and get it. So we just assume that that person might continue calling, might put it to the side, might find another way around, to get that information, but they didn't, because this is what they were told. That's what they did. So when we look at how we're communicating and what we actually need, a better choice of communication words could have been, hey, we need this for our updated database because we're going to be sending letters out soon. It's really important that we get their information, make sure it's really clear, and it's updated inside our system so that they are getting all the information that they need. Now, how this person then went about getting that outcome was completely up to them. They might have called, they might have emailed, they might have waited a couple of days to come back. All of that is just a different approach to it. So that's an example of when we're talking about what does that end result look like, rather than what is the process I want you to follow. Allow them to come up with their own process. This is how we innovate inside our teams as well, through delegation. Raven says that she agrees with my saying, however, delegation at uni, I find I can hardly use or come up with your own suggestions. It has to be in their thinking. Yeah, I guess that could be a uni thing as well. I really struggled with university study as well, Raven, because I'm all about my own ideas, right? But when you're studying in university, you actually have to understand everybody else's ideas and be able to, tie them into current circumstances and then relay them back. You're not allowed to have your own original ideas. It could be very interesting. So if you've got questions about delegation, something that hasn't gone right, you want to talk through a situation, make sure you're popping it in the chat for me, in the comments. So if we don't get to it right now, you're watching a replay, I will definitely come back around to that and helping you out there. So I hope this lunch and learn around delegation has been useful. It is such a huge topic, but the mindset that you approach it with will change everything for you. If you at least focus on who can I help to grow and develop and I guess mentor through their coaching. Delegation is part of that within your team. So if you approach a task like that, rather than I'm so busy, I need to get rid of some of my work, you'll find that you'll have a much higher success rate of getting it done the first time around. Let me know how it goes with you all. Questions, comments, pop them in the chat here. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. That's our lunch and learn for this week. We have next week our real life story with Justine Kennedy coming up, and Justine's been getting some amazing results through her culture and her team engagement. And when I asked her about it, she's like, "Oh, it's not me, it's all the team. I just have a fabulous team. It's not me, it's all them." And I said, "Okay, but you didn't start like that, right? Let's have a look back at that journey. Let's start to really pull apart some of the things that you did, the actual physical things that you did, some of the concepts that you brought in, so she can help share that with everybody as well." So we're going to go a little bit over her journey and what she's doing at the moment, and how that might actually impact on you. And you also have the opportunity to ask some questions as well. So we'll be doing this same place, same time, 1 p.m. next week, Thursday. It will go for a little bit longer because it's a real life story where I do interview Justine. So we'll be on Zoom coming here live for you as well. So make sure that you've got your comments going, you're ready, asking questions that way as well. And really look forward to seeing you all there. Now, remember, you can check out our Management for Impact program. We've got a couple of spaces left in that one. We're starting in March, the first week of March. For that one, like I said, we have pushed that one back. And also we'll get the link to the delegation checklist for those of you who have not yet downloaded that one. We'll put that one up in the comments as well for you all, so you've got more information on The delegation. Thank you everyone for being here. Thanks Raywin for commenting here live with me, Deanne, and for everybody else who's live with me. I know there's some of you there, but I haven't seen your names or anything pop up, so I can't see who it is. Thank you for being here with us, and we'll see you all in the group. Bye for now.